trunk road. From the sonar gun to the banks of river Indus through Agra, Delhi, and Lahore. This route was called as Sadak-i-Azam. What do we call? The four main highways were built by him. That is from Sonargaon to the banks of river Indus through Agra, Delhi, and Lahore, which connects these places. This route was called Sadak-i-Azam. And from Agra to Baranpur, and from Agra to Chittor, and from Lahore to Multan. These were the four highways which was built during his period, that is Sher Shah administration time. And further he issued new coins like gold coins, silver coins, copper coins. Gold coins were called by name mohars, silver coins were called as rupiah, and copper coins were called as dam. And these rupiah were continued to be as a standard currency used throughout the Mughal Empire. So children, further when we think about or know about Sher Shah ruling, he was very popular for his revenue system, and he introduced number of reforms in the taxation. As we see in the Delhi Sultanate, the Muhammad came up with the taxation and even the ruler. In the same way, these Sher Shah also introduced certain reforms and changes in the taxation system, and he was well versed in collection of the taxation system, and he had a system of land assessment, that is examining the land based on the certain method. Whatever the cultivated land was having by the people, it was measured based on categories. He divided the land into cultivated land into three. One is good, average, and poor, on the basis of the fertility, how the crops how the yield has been come up, and how the crops have been grown. Based on this, he divided the cultivatable land into three. One is good, average, and poor. Based on this, he used to collect the taxes. And 1/3 of the produce, whatever the farmers have been grown, the crops, 1/3 of out of that, they were fixed as a rate of revenue. They used to pay to the tax to the Sher Shah. And peasants could not pay the taxes, can pay either in cash or in kind. That is, other than cash, they can 1/3 of the crops they could be given to Sher Khan. So he made a certain changes in the revenue system on the land basis. So land revenue was paid like based on the cultivated land, and this land was divided based on three categories. One is good, average, and poor. And the farmers, when they have grown the crops, they should pay the 1/3 of their crop or in cash. They used to pay. Suppose if they doesn't have possibility of paying the taxes during certain like floods or famines or drought, during that time the Sher Shah exempted, was not collecting the taxes. The people was free from paying the tax during these kind of situations, and he used to give loans to them during this famine or flood, or when the people were not able to pay the taxes, and when the crops were not healed properly, he used to give the loans for them to lead the life. So children, next comes the next ruler is in the Mughal Empire is Akbar. We saw Humayun and about Sher Shah Suri, and now we'll move on to the Akbar. Akbar ruled during the period of 1556 to 1605 CE. So who is this Akbar? Akbar is a son of Humayun. Humayun is the father of Akbar. When he ascended the throne, what was his age? His age was just 13 years old, and he took the guidance of his regent Baharman Khan. Regent is nothing but when the who will be ascending the throne. If he is a minor, the regent will be appointed to take care of him and to guide the administration. That is was held by this Bairam Khan. And after the death of Humayun, this Bairam Khan helped to Akbar assistance in during the wars and the administration. And after the Akbar's coronation, that is, coronation is nothing but Pattabhisheka. Akbar's coronation took at the Kalanur place of Punjab in 1556. So children, when he ascended the throne, he was 13 years. As he was 13 years of old, this Bairam Khan continued to expand his empire and he guided him. In the initial years, Akbar's rule was very filled with challenges because the one side on the Afghans organized themselves and took the Adil Shah help, that is nephew of Sher Shah, who wanted to re-establish the Afghan rule in Delhi. And even the Rajputs regained their powers and defeated to Babur. Since they defeated to Babur and became a threat to the authority of Mughals, this Akbar's half-brother Mirza Hakim declared himself as a independent in Kabul region. During this time, took the advantage of unstable state of Mughal Empire in 1556. Himo, the chief minister of Adil Shah, captured the Delhi and declared himself as a emperor because as there was not an able administrator to rule during this period because Akbar was only 13 years old and there was not an able administrator to rule this region. So during this time this advantage was taken hold by the Himu, the chief minister of Adil Shah, captured Delhi and declared himself as a emperor. Though the Afghans had a much larger army than the Mughals, but the Bairab Khan decided to face the challenge, and after the 30 years after, Babur had defeated Ibrahim Lodi. Another historical battle was took place at Panipat. During this time, Himu was defeated and killed in the second battle of Panipat. And again, the Afghan who was became threat to Akbar's throne was permanently removed. So, children, to know about a few things about Akbar, how was his role, how was he? So, it tells we have certain sources. What do we call that is chronicles? Chronicles of Haful Fazl, who wrote Akbar Nama. He has written in a book called Akbar Nama, the official account of during the Akbar rule. So, this Akbar Nama book is divided into 3 volumes, 3 books. And the first volume tells about the Akbar's ancestry, and the second volume deals with the important events that took place during the Akbar rule, what and all happened during his administrations. And the third and the last volume, that is the name Ain-e-Akbari, it tells about administrative structure. So, and even though these 3 volumes tells about the different life period of the Akbar. This is the one of the source which tells about the Akbar's rule. The Akbar Nama is one of the chronicles written by Abul Fazl. A chronicles of Abul Fazl, who wrote a book called Akbar Nama. And Akbar Nama has been divided into 3 volumes, 3 books, you can say, for your understanding. First tells about the Akbar ancestry, and second tells about his rule, and third tells about his second one tells of the important events that took place during Akbar rule. Third one is administration. And lastly, a critical view of Akbar rules also can be found in a book called Muntakab Ut Twarik. Muntakab Ut Twarik, which is written by Badauni. He critically criticized about the Akbar rule in this book called Muntakab Ut Twarik. So this is what tells about the Akbar rules in a chronicle called Akbar Nama, written by Abul Fazl. So children, in today's class, we came to know about how Humayun ended his rule and who was Sher Shah Suri and the Akbar, the next Mughal empire in the Mughal dynasty. In the next class, we will be studying about the territorial expansion of Akbar. Thank you and be safe and be healthy.